going to be doing tonight, we're going to be making well, you don't have to make it a greeting card if you don't want to, but if you are going to make a greeting card, it's super easy. So give it one more minute. I'm like flustered because I couldn't get things to work right. Okay, so I'm gonna just go over the materials again so you are prepared. So for my card, I chose a red, a dark green, and like almost a lime green color, kind of a yellow green. But I started thinking, if you're Jewish and you celebrate Hanukkah, maybe you want to do blues with a silver maybe. Or if you don't want to do the yellow-green, you could just switch it out for regular yellow. I also thought it'd be fun to do metallic. So if you have any metallic, these are just regular Sharpies. This one's is like a bronze metallic, and this one's a silver metallic. So you can use markers for this. You are welcome to try crayons even. It might be a little difficult because the tips aren't quite small enough, but if you have littles that are younger than 5 or 6 and you don't want them using markers, you're welcome to use colors, or you can use colored pencils instead of crayons if you want to do that. It is totally up to you. Even pens, if you want to use gel pens or something like that. I want you to use your creativity and use whichever tools that you work best with. Unless you're trying to work on a special skill, then I recommend just following along as is. So tonight, we're going to be using the markers. So I have all these markers, but you really only need 3. So since I'm teaching you this tonight, I'm going to use the same colors. And then if we have time, I might do a second one with Hanukkah colors. We'll see. So to begin with, I'm going to pull the 3 colors I want to use, which are red, dark green, well, it's really a standard green, and then a light green. Okay, so you don't have to have fancy markers. I've literally had these markers since I was in college, and I still use them. Regular Crayola is perfectly fine. Do not go out and buy expensive art materials. You don't need them yet. I'm going to be using a marker pad. You can use regular computer paper, but if you do that, just make sure you put, if you're going to fold it into a greeting card, that you put something in between the 2 layers of paper so your markers don't bleed through to the inside where you're going to write your message, okay? If you want, you can also use, they call it Bristol board. I used it in the last project if you saw that video. It's just a little bit thicker so the markers don't bleed through. But like I said, use what you have. I don't care if you use newspaper. I don't care if you cut up a paper bag. It doesn't have to be complicated. And then of course you're going to need a pencil with an eraser. I use a mechanical pencil, but you don't have to. And then I also use what is called a kneaded eraser. So it pulls apart like this. These are pretty inexpensive. You can find them at any art store. And I really like them because you're able to manipulate the eraser tip. So you can make it into any shape you want, and it's easier just to get around those little edges and corners. You don't really need that tonight. It's just what I always use, so I have it. And then, as always, I just have my sketch pad, so I'm going to be showing you throughout the lesson how to, hello. I love when the kids say hey, because I really don't know, like, parents are watching and they're going to teach this to their kids later, or if the kids are actually on. So it's really awesome that kids are actually on tonight. And I think Jamie and Haley are going to join. I don't know if they're on, but if you haven't watched one of my lessons before, I always show you what to do in this notepad. And I'm going to use it again tonight to show you so you have a good large visual instead of my teeny tiny little paper. For those of you that did not see, about 5:30, just before the class started, I posted directions for the project in the discussion on the event page. So if you want, you can get those. It just gives you a quick overview of the project, tells you what your kids can learn from this. Tonight it's going to be hand-eye coordination, proportions, and then also it'll teach them a little bit about pattern. This is not a complicated project, but I think a lot of people, you know, like when kids draw ornaments, they just draw a circle with a hook at the top, right? And then a string. And I think this gives them a little more to play around with. Let me see if I can, there we go. Okay, a little more to play around with. So I have, for those that don't know, I purposely make mistakes in my examples so I can show you that it's okay to make mistakes. Art is not meant to be perfect. Art is an expression of you and your creativity. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. That's what mistakes are for. We can learn from them, right? So we're going to work on symmetry. So you can see mine are a little asymmetrical. The two sides aren't exactly perfect, but I want your kids to see that it's okay. And that's how you learn, is by doing it over and over and over again. Practice makes perfect, right? So we're going to work on that tonight. So first thing we're going to do, you're going to take your piece of paper. If you want to turn it into a greeting card, I am going to have you fold your paper in half, and you can do it long ways or so vertical or horizontal, portrait or landscape. If you do it portrait, you're going to fold it this way, and then your ornaments will come from the top, right? If you're going to do it landscape, you're going to take your paper and fold it here. Hey Kelly, thanks for jumping on. Oh nice, you're with your niece, that's awesome. Yay, so exciting. So landscape, you're gonna fold it like this, and then your ornaments are gonna be drawn from the top here, just like the example I showed you, okay? And if you need more of a picture, that also is in the discussion on the event page, along with I put some ornament shapes. If you don't want to do these exact shapes, that is totally fine with me. Get creative, you know, use your imagination. I want your kids to really explore pattern and shape and color. That's the whole purpose of art. So I'm gonna fold mine landscape just like I did in my example, and you can see that in the group or in the event discussion. I'm going to keep saying that just in case somebody jumps on and they don't know. Okay, so step one, fold your paper in half only if you are going to create a greeting card. If you're not going to create a greeting card, you can leave it as is, and you can just draw your ornaments from the top of your paper. So I'll show you, and you can do that portrait or landscape too. So portrait, you're going to do it this way. Your ornaments are going to come from the top. And landscape, you're going to do it this way, and your ornaments will come from the top like that. And now if you don't fold your paper, you have a ton of room to do more ornaments if you want, and then you could just write a message across the front of the page. Okay, so we're jumping in now, guys. Like I said, I'm going to do a greeting card, so mine is folded. Again, if you do not have thick paper, make sure you put something in between so when you use your markers, they don't bleed through to the part that you're going to be writing on, okay? All right, so fold your card. You want to make sure you match up the edges, right? Okay, so your parents may or may not need to help you for this, but match up the ends, and then you just take your finger, slide it down the side to form a crease, okay? If you need a little help, you can use a ruler, which is super easy. You're just going to, I've already folded this paper, but I'm going to use it again. You'll take the folder, you'll put it in the middle of the paper, you'll match up the edges, and then you can use that to like kind of guide you to fold the paper. So that's a way to do it. It helps score it. Aw, that's awesome. Ah, I love it. Love to see it. Okay. So I'm going to draw on here to show you the shapes first, and then I will draw them on my card. So I'll be a little bit behind you, but it'll give you time to work on the card, and I can breeze through this. I've done it a million times. So I want you guys to really use your imagination and have fun with it. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, we have 3 ornaments, okay? What we wanna do is start with the middle one, because when we start in the middle, then we can see how much space we have on either side for the remaining ornaments, okay? So actually, I'm gonna get it. Let's do it this way. I've got a painting or a sketch taped to the other side. Okay, so to start with, you're gonna draw, let's see if I can get this down the middle. Draw a line down the middle of your page. Mine's gonna look silly from this view, but you guys will get the gist of it, okay? So that's say that's your middle. Mine's a little off center because it's hard to see this way. But then you can see how much space you have on either side. This one is going to be our longest ornament. So if you want it to be a little bit longer, go for it. But you don't want to make it so long that it runs off your page, right? So make sure you draw a line and then you leave that space for your middle ornament, okay? We're not going to draw the shape yet. We're only going to focus on the lines. Okay, so then you're going to take your pencil and draw a line down the other side. And that's going to be for this ornament. And you can see it's not quite as short as the red one, but it's a little bit shorter than the middle one, the dark green one, okay? If you want your ornaments to be different lengths, a little bit different than mine, that's totally okay. All right, and then the shortest one is gonna go over here on the other side. So you've got your 3 lines. Nothing crazy, right? That's really easy. Okay, now we're going to draw our ornament shapes, okay? So what does this shape look like to you? To me, when I turn it this way, it looks like an eyeball or a football or an almond, right? Okay, so all it is an oval with pointed ends, right? So if you need some help drawing that shape, let's work on that, okay? So we're gonna start, if you can draw a football or an eye, go for it. You're set, you know what to do, right? For me, I'm gonna guide you guys. So on this side, it's not really symmetrical, but this side is more symmetrical, right? So I'm gonna focus on creating the shape that's on this side. So I'm just gonna draw it like an eyeball or a football, okay? If you can do that, that's great. If you need a little more help, I'm going to show you a trick. So you can draw an oval, okay? Mine's a little crooked, but I want you to try to make yours a little straight if you can. Okay, and once you got your oval, you're just going to draw a triangle, okay? There's a little triangle on the top and a triangle on the bottom, okay? Then you can erase these lines. What's that look like? A football, an eyeball, an almond. So that's a little trick. All drawing is really combining shapes to create your figure or thing that you're drawing, your item that you're drawing. Okay, so we've got that shape done. We are going to move on to this one. And it's pretty much the same shape, but it's a little bit smaller, okay? So we're gonna draw this guy a little bit smaller than the dark green one. Same shape, okay? And then the red one is a circle. So I know all of you can draw a circle. If you can't draw a circle, I'll show you how in just a second, okay? So draw a circle. That's going to be your outline for your red one. If you can't draw a circle, I want you to do this. Draw a line. Draw the letter D, a capital D, okay? And then I want you to draw the letter C. Now erase your line in the middle. And you got a circle. Mine's a little oval-y, but you get the gist. You can also, there is no shame in tracing if you are a beginner and you want to work on making things symmetrical versus working on your line work, okay? And this would be considered line work, your drawing, okay? So if you have, let's see, maybe the top to a soda bottle, or maybe a quarter or silver dollar. Do people even use those anymore? I don't know. But you can use something and place it on your paper and then trace around it, and that'll give you a circle, okay? I was trying to think of, oh, here we go. Let me show you. I've got some rubber cement here I can use. So I want it to be the size of the top, so I'm going to put the top on my paper. See if I can do this. And then I'm going to trace around it, sort of, and that will give me a circle, okay? Cool, okay. So now that you have your lines and your basic shapes for the ornaments, we are now going to draw patterns inside of those ornaments with dots and dashes. You can even draw solid lines if you want to fill them in some. This one is kind of like little links. And again, if you, oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm in between hair dye right now, so it'll probably be pink in my class on Saturday morning, but yeah, thank you. If you look in the discussion in the event, I shared some pattern examples. They're really easy beginner line work. But like I said, when kids draw an ornament, they just usually draw a circle and a hook. So this gives them a better understanding of pattern, how to play with different shapes to form different line works and patterns within objects, okay? So you can see they're not complicated shapes. And I've even, like, the bottoms are even just colored in triangles, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work on coming up with these patterns, okay? So I am going to, I'm gonna show you some examples of some patterns that you could use inside of your ornaments. Okay, so you could do, it could be a simple dash. These do not have to be complicated, okay? And then you could do little dots, little line of dots, okay? Some other ones I did are the links. So you draw a dash, then you draw like an oval shape, a dash, an oval, a dash, an oval, and just keep repeating that until you get to the edge of your ornament. You can do little hearts if you want to do hearts. What else? You could do zigzags, zigzag pattern. You can do, oh, you could just do like a solid line. You can decide how thick you want it to be. So that one's kind of thin, and then you can do a thicker one underneath it if you want it. You could do triangles, so you could go one up and one down, one up, one down, one up and one down, all the way. I'll do them all the way for you guys. No slacking in this art class. Let's see what else. What else did I do? Oh, I did just regular, just like joined circles. So they're kind of overlapping where they touch. And if your kiddo is working on shapes, this is a great one for them because you can have them incorporate the shapes that they're working on into this project, okay? Okay. I try to do one of these free events every month, Shauna, and then I'm going to be hosting ticketed workshops also. But I want to offer more free events, but I'm in the middle of a home renovation. So once that's done, I can focus more on my art. Okay. So let's show you guys this up close in case you can't see it from far away. Like I said, it doesn't have to be complicated. Art's supposed to be fun. Keep it simple. Don't stress about what your patterns look like. Just pick up your mark or your pencil and just let it flow. Okay? All right. So once we draw our patterns and have those filled in, then we're going to use our markers. So go ahead and fill in all your ornaments. I am going to fill mine in on my card really quickly so we can start using our markers. It'll be fun. And Miss Christalle is not perfect either. See, I made a little, I always mess up when I'm trying to point this stuff on here. But I made a little boo-boo, and it's okay. We'll just erase it. It's no big deal. Nobody is perfect. I don't care what they say. So I've been an artist. I am 38 years old. I've been an artist as long as I can remember, and I still make mistakes. And I do it professionally. So don't feel like you're messing up or anything bad like that. Just learn from it and keep moving forward, okay? I am just filling in. I'm drawing my last ornament. And I'm gonna fill in some patterns. Actually, I might not fill in my patterns with pencil. Okay, so I have my ornaments drawn. I'm just gonna do my pattern with marker to save a little time so I can keep up with you guys, okay? So after you have your patterns drawn, then you are going to pick your colors, okay? So, like I said, if you don't celebrate Christmas, maybe, I don't know, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, I know there's other ones I'm forgetting, but this doesn't have to be traditional Christmas colors, okay, or holiday colors. It doesn't have to be red and green. You can do whatever colors you want. Some people do their Christmas trees pink and silver, and some people do blue, and you know, use whatever. Sorry, sorry, I thought Shauna was with you. Okay, gotcha. Cool. I'm with you now. Okay, so use whatever colors you want. Maybe you want rainbow ornaments. It is totally up to you. Don't feel like you have to use the same exact colors Miss Christalle is using, because I like to mix it up too. Like I said, if you celebrate Hanukkah, maybe you want to do blues or silver. Maybe you want to do red, yellow, green. Maybe you want to do silver and red and blue. Maybe you want to do rainbow. Totally up to you, okay? So I'm hoping by now you all have your ornament patterns filled in. If you don't, just let me know and I'll slow down a little bit. I'll show you some other things in the meantime. If you are ready to go, I want to jump in and start coloring our ornaments, okay? So pick out your colors, crayons, pencils, or markers. It is totally up to you. I'm going to use the same colors I used in the example just so I don't confuse anyone. So I want to make sure you know what you're looking at. Okay, so if you want to, you have the option. You can lightly, very lightly, erase your pencil lines. If you do not want to do that, continue on track with me and we are going to color in our patterns. Then we are going to erase pencil lines. This will give you a guide for your first time doing this project. If you feel confident and you want to make another card after this, you are welcome to use no pencil or slightly erase the pencil lines before you do your markers, okay? Miss Christalle has done this many, many times, so I am going to very lightly erase my pencil lines, okay? And I'll show you what it looks like after I do it, so you can see I still have a guide, but they're not as dark because I'm using markers, I'm not using colored pencils or crayons, and I want to make sure that my pencil lines don't show through my marker, okay? So you can see how fast I'm doing this. I'm on the last ornament now, so I am not erasing it too much, just lightening it a little bit. Okay, so that's how light my pencil lines are now. So you can see I still have an outline, but it's not so dark that it's going to show through when I put my markers down, okay? So I am going to start left to right. So I'm going to start with the smallest football shape, okay? So that will be this one. We're going left to right, okay? Which I guess it's kind of mirrored, so it probably looks right to left to you. But so for my original card, I used the light green, I used the standard green, and then I used red. I think I'm going to mix up the colors this time, and I think I am going to start with red. So I am going to take my red marker, okay, and then flip this so I can show you guys. Your middle line, okay, you know, we drew our strings, our lines first. You are going to draw a little, nope, this marker doesn't want to work. I'm not using that one. Okay, I'm going to do, hold that thought, guys. Okay, got a million markers, no problem. This one will work. Okay, so I am going to follow along my string line, and I'm just going to draw dots all the way down. Okay, so it's not straight on this one, but I'll show you when I, let's see, I'll do it on my card also. I'll leave that up for you so you can see, and then I'll do mine on the back. And if you feel like your line is crooked like mine is here, feel free to straighten it out as you go, or don't. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so that's what it looks like on my card. And you see some of my dots are farther away than others, and I like that because I think it gives a little character. I don't like things to be perfect because it's not fun when it's perfect. Okay, so then we are going to fill in the patterns. So you're going to trace over your pencil lines if you drew your patterns. So just say it would be dots and dashes. So I'm going to do some up here. I like to do the top of mine. I like to fill them in solid, so feel free to do that if you want to. I just drew a triangle, and then I colored it in, so that makes the top of my ornament. And then I also like to do that at the bottom. So I draw upside down triangle, and then I fill that in. Okay, so then my patterns are going to be between these two triangles. Okay, so I'm going to do dots, and then I'm going to do a straight line. I'm going to do some circles. Then I'm going to do a little dash, a zigzag, another line. This one I'm going to make a little bit thicker. Then I'm going to do some more circles, some dots, another line, And there you go. Does yours look kind of like that? It should. If it doesn't, it's okay. No problem. Just start over. It's no big deal. It's just a piece of paper. Okay? So if you, well, I'm going to fill in my ornament on my card. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw this one down here. That'll give you a little bit of time to work on your pattern. Do not feel like you have to rush through this. You do not have to rush through this. I still have 30 minutes left on here. I got nothing to do. So don't feel like you got to rush. If you want to take your time, you can always come back and watch the video again. It's supposed to be fun, not stress you out. All right. I'm drawing some more dots. A zigzag, another line, and some more dots. Okay. So you see how I stayed inside the shape of my ornament? So when we erase the pencil lines, you're only going to have the marker left. So you want to make sure you keep the shape as close to possible inside those pencil lines you drew, okay? Because when we erase that, you're not going to have that outline anymore, okay? So we're going to move on to the next color, okay? We don't want to erase our lines yet after putting the marker on it, because if we do that, if the marker's not dry, it could smear and you'll be very sad when your hard work is destroyed, okay? So make sure you do not erase it yet if you use markers, and just let it dry, and then when we finish all of our ornaments, we'll go back to the first one and we'll erase our pencil lines, okay? All right, for the next one, I'm going to be using, it's called apple green. It's kind of a yellow-green color. Let's see, I want the fine tip. Okay, so we're just going to repeat the same process that we did for the first one on the second and third, okay? So we're going to draw our dots. Okay, seriously, this one is not working. Okay, change of plans. I'm going to use yellow instead. It's all about being flexible, guys. Woohoo! Look at that, skills, y'all. Okay. All right, so we're going to draw the dots just like we did along our string line all the way down to the ornament. Miss Crystal made this one really, really long, so I'm going to be doing dots for a minute. When I get back to my real studio, I'm going to set up an easel so I don't have to hold this every time, and you can see me easier. Okay, so I've got my dots are drawn all the way down to the ornament, okay? Then I'm going to do the same thing. I really like how the triangle looks at the top. I feel like it gives, and the bottom, it gives it a finished look. So I draw my little triangles, and I fill in my ornament lines with patterns. If anybody has any questions, please, please, please ask them. Oh, I didn't see all your comments. I'm sorry. It is totally fine. You're typing a lot. I actually love it. The last one, there was only one person and nobody really talked, and so it was kind of a bummer. And I talk a lot too. All right, so I'm just filling this one in. Okay, so I got that one done. Now I am going to move back to my card. Okay, I'm going to fill that guy in. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just showing you both so you can have a little extra time. to work on yours. Don't feel like you gotta do it as quickly as me. Okay. And I'm pretty much using the same shapes over and over again on all my ornaments, but don't feel like you have to do that. I just like how they look kind of similar together. Okay, so there is that one. Okay, so we just have one more. How awesome. And then we can erase our lines. Okay, so now I am going to switch to grass green, but use whatever color you want. If this one doesn't work, I swear. Okay, this one works. Okay. All right, here we go. Same thing. We're going to fill in dots on our string line. All the way down to the ornament. Okay, so you can see I did that. And then this is our last ornament to fill, and mine is circle shaped. So instead of a triangle at the top, I'm going to do a half circle. Okay, so this is how you do a half circle in this direction. You're going to draw a line, then you're going to follow the top of your circle like that. Okay, so that's how you would do the top, and then the bottom would be the opposite. It would be a straight line, and then you would follow your ornament shape circle on the bottom. Okay, this marker's totally trying to quit. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Fill that. Do the same thing on the bottom. Fill that in. Then I'm going to do little dots. A line. A thicker line. Circles. And one more line. Okay. So yours should look something like this. I'm going to do my last ornament on my card. Let's see if this will work. Here we go. I'm going to do a line, dots, circles, another line. It's not wanting to work. There we go. Be a zigzag. Fill these in better up here. My marker does not want to work. I don't know. I literally just use these markers. Yeah, you feel me. Yeah. No views, no fun. Okay. So, we have filled in our ornaments. Oh, excuse me one moment, guys. My dog was whining at the door. So you can say hey to Sadie. Say hey. You know, high five? High five? Yeah. Okay. All right. So your card should look something like this, kind of similar. And once your marker is dry, you can start erasing the pencil lines, okay? So I'm going to start with the red one because that's the first one I did, so it is the most dry at this point, okay? So you're just going to take your eraser, whatever kind of eraser you're using, and you're just going to start erasing those pencil lines. Whoops. So you're going to see exactly why Miss Christalle wanted to erase her pencil lines on her card before her marker, because that's what it will do. So you can see on the yellow, it's lighter than the pencil, so it shows through the marker. So that's why I wanted to erase my pencil lines beforehand, or at least make them a little lighter. Okay, so now I'm going to erase them off my card, and then you can see the difference. Don't do it so hard that you rip your paper or anything. It doesn't have to be aggressive. just a gentle little erasing. I'm shaking my desk. And then when you're done, the one in the middle is giving me a hard time, guys. Okay, and when you're done, it should look something like this. There you go. Why can't I ever get there? There you go, okay. So when you open it, you can write a message to a loved one, or family, or friend, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, whoever. You can also, if you want to do this on, I'll show you really quickly how to do that. I will just actually cut a piece of this paper so you can. Say you didn't do a card, okay, and you just drew these on paper. Or you didn't make a card, I should say, because they're all on paper, right? You can make a gift tag. So all I did was I cut out one of the ornaments that I drew. And then you're going to take a hole puncher. And you are going to punch a hole in the corner. Okay? And then when you have a gift you want to put it on. Let's see. To Mrs. Claus. Love, Santa. So say Santa got Mrs. Claus a gift, obviously, because Santa gets everybody's gift, right? So you would just write the person you're sending it to, or you're giving it to, and then that it's from you. So say, to Mrs. Claus from Santa, okay? So you can make a gift tag if you want to do that. It's a little different. Okay. That's that, guys. That's the whole project. So when your card is done, you want to write your message on the inside, okay? So you can write whatever you want to the person you love that you want to give it to, or your friends. So I'm just going to write Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, okay? Super simple. Maybe you want to leave a note for Santa on this. You could write your note to Santa when you leave him milk and cookies on Christmas Eve. You could give it to a friend, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, whoever you want, whoever you are celebrating the holidays with. Now, real quick, before we wrap up, I do want to show you two projects that I'm going to be teaching this weekend. And one of the events is free, and one is ticketed. But, sorry, I should have got these out before, but I didn't know if I'd have enough time to show you. So, on Saturday, I'm going to be teaching 2 art classes, okay? And I've shared both of them on my page. So one is under my events. Santa, to real, your mom puts the presents and eats all the cookies. Well, then you can leave the note for your mom. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so the first workshop I'm teaching is at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and that's because it is in a parenting group on Facebook, but they're based in the United Kingdom. So there's a 6-hour time difference. So I offered to teach early so I could, accommodate their schedule. So what we're going to be doing are watercolor poinsettias made out of paper plates. Okay, so this one is a totally free event. They just reached out to me and asked if I would teach it. So I said, of course I will. Sounds fun. So this is going to be a great project. I really love this one. I taught this one to my kids in 2018, but we just did regular flowers. So I updated this project to be holiday themed. So now we have poinsettias. So they're going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be using watercolor, glitter, and even salt. So that's what adds the texture to the flower and leaves. Okay, so that one's at 9 a.m. on Saturday. The second one is and this one's free. I think I said that, but this is a free event. You just have to be a member of the group. So if you want to attend that, make sure you join the group tomorrow before 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. That's Central Time, okay? All right, and then the second one, I love this project. I'm so excited. I actually bought new yarn just for this project that is Christmas colored, so I'm excited about it. This workshop, we're going to be making beanie ornaments out of yarn. So this is such a simple project. It looks complicated at first, but I'm going to be teaching this at 2 p.m. This one is going to be $19.99 to attend, but I think that's a really good price. I've seen a lot of virtual workshops that are like $50 and up, which is insane to me. We're in a pandemic. People are struggling right now, and so I'm trying to keep my prices low so people can attend. So this one will be at 2 p.m. We are going to make these beanie ornaments out of yarn. So yeah, make sure you grab a ticket. That one is on my page under the events. Super simple to sign up, and it's also, they're all Facebook Lives. It's virtual. All my class is virtual to accommodate anyone and everyone during this crazy time. So these are great because not only can they be ornaments, but they're super cute, attached to gifts. So you could even you could put your gift tag that you made tonight and then attach this to your gift tag. And then you have the cutest little gift combo on your present, right? How cute is that? So this is a really inexpensive way to make a handmade gift, which I think is amazing. I love handmade gifts. I love when somebody takes their time to create something for me and puts their time, energy, and love into it, right? So again, you can use any colors, but I think this is going to be a really, really fun project. My kids always enjoy it when I teach it to them. So I'm excited to be doing that on Saturday. So that is that. I would love to see your projects. So if you join tonight, if you come back and watch the video later and you make the project, please be sure to tag me or share a photo of it in the event. I love to see your projects, especially from the kids. I know some adults join and do these projects too, but I just adore teaching kids. I've been doing it since 17, and I taught at a private art studio and also in the school district after school program, and now I'm teaching private virtual lessons. So here we are. That's our tutorial for tonight. Be sure to tag me. On Facebook, I am Crystal Bodiford Art. On Instagram, it's just Crystal Bodiford. And if you want to know more feel free to reach out. I try to reply to messages really quickly through Messenger or on my Facebook page and Instagram. So if you have any questions, if you're watching this later and you have questions, reach out. I'm here to help. So thank you guys for joining. This was a lot of fun, and I hope to see you Saturday at the poinsettia paper plate class or the beanie ornament class, or both. So until then, I will see you later.